the next identity we're going to verify by multiplying. We see that both sides look a little bit complicated on this side. When that happens, if one side has a fraction, that's probably the side that you want to work with. So we're going to take this, and seeing this secant x minus 1, we've seen that before, and we know if we multiply that by its conjugate, then we're going to get a secant squared minus 1, which gives us tangent squared. So that seems like a good way to go. So multiplying both sides, or the numerator and denominator, by secant of x plus 1. And that gives, in the numerator, distributing there, sine x secant x plus sine x over secant squared x plus 1. Sorry, minus 1 there. So from that, we have, well, our secant squared x is tangent squared x. So sine x secant x plus sine x over tangent squared x. Always keep in mind where you're trying to get to, because that can be helpful in knowing what to do next. Well, we say that we're supposed to end up with some cotangents in there. Cotangent being the reciprocal of tangent might give us a little clue here. So if we take the tangent squared and write it as a sine squared over cosine squared, we have sine x secant x plus sine x over sine squared x over cosine squared x. I've rewritten the right side here so we can scroll down a little bit and still see what we're trying to get to. And so from there, if we take the left side, now we have a complex fraction. We don't like complex fractions, so typically when that happens, we change to multiplying by the reciprocal. So we have the sine x secant x plus sine x times cosine squared x over sine squared x. And we're multiplying by that whole quantity. Don't forget the parentheses there. So if we distribute that, we see that we're going to get some canceling of the signs in there. And notice that secant is also 1 over cosine. So I'm going to rewrite that, changing my secant to 1 over cosine, so it makes it a little more clear what's happening here. So we have the cosine squared of x over the sine squared of x times sine x 1 over cosine x plus sine x. So now if we distribute, we see that a sine is going to cancel here and here, and one of the cosines is going to cancel here and here. So we're going to be left with cosine x over sine x for the first part, and that looks good because that is cotangent, plus one of the signs is going to cancel out here, so I'm going to write this as cosine x times cosine x over sine x. And now all we need is to change the cosines over sines into cosines. So our last step then is just to change the cosines over sines to cotangents, and we have our verification. So cotangent of x plus cosine cotangent of x is equal to what we had on the right side, so we are verified. Now try this similar problem in your notes.